This time on CrowdQuest, we are reviewing Dark Space, a sci-fi rules hack for Shadowdark RPG currently on Kickstarter. Here's the details. It has rules for solo and GM-less play, 12 one-page settings for various sci-fi subgenres, 7 class archetypes, 20 species traits, over 100 enhanced items, plus gear and vehicles, over 100 denizens, including legendary denizens by guest authors such as myself if they reach the $50,000 stretch goal, and as of recording, they've gotten really close in only the first few days. Before we dive into the sample and sneak preview of my legendary denizen, please note this video is sponsored by Dark Space, and while I don't receive commissions if you support the project through my link below, it's still a nice way to let them know who sent you. Now, this is version 1 of Dark Space, an 80-page PDF, but the new hardcover will be about 200 pages with much more content and artwork. There's also a 20-page quick start linked on the crowdfunding page for a free sample. From the table of contents, we see a familiar outline to the Shadowdark core, starting with an overview and character options, then getting into gear, lore, and denizens. The introduction is quite clear. Journey into the shadows and darkness of space for fortune and glory. Will you play a blue-collar scavenger, a hardened mercenary, a swashbuckling adventurer, or explore the boundaries of what it means to be human? And it indicates 100% compatibility with Shadowdark, but some new terminology like species rather than ancestry, and the default is to take one species trait. For example, Bob doesn't know what species to play. Typical Bob, he rolls on the species traits table and gets amphibious. He decides to play a race of fish people he saw in a movie once. And there's as much variety as you'd expect for a sci-fi campaign: amphibious, natural weapon, technical knack, and extra arms, and more. Classes are called archetypes and use more broad names: strong, quick, tough, clever, wise, charming, and multifunction android. But just looking at the quick archetype, we can get a feel for the design of each one. Pilots, thieves, gunslingers, and assassins. Quick characters move fast and strike with precision. They can use all weapons except heavy. They get light armor, d6 hit points, and 3 talents. Quick shot, which is like a sneak attack, never tell me the odds for free luck tokens, and reflexes for advantage on dexterity checks to avoid danger. And while these archetypes do not have titles like Shadowdark classes, your spacer can have a title based on their position or rank aboard their ship, as well as a motivation, similar to an alignment, but with a starting bonus and a prescribed way to earn luck tokens through roleplay. You can learn so much about an RPG from its mundane gear items, in this case, ammo clips, polymer cables, cred sticks, glow rods, multi-tools, scanners, security tools, and stim packs certainly evoke the sci-fi genre, and a scrappy scavenger-like persona that makes these characters well-suited to the Shadowdark rule set. Skipping the weapons and armor, I want to highlight the simple rules for travel. You make an intelligence check to plot your course based on the destination. Same system, easy check. Same sector or collection of systems, a moderate check, and so on, with special items like star charts and Navi computers to reduce the difficulty, and on failure, an astrogation mishap may occur. This section includes more details on travel speed, spaceship stats, types, roles, hazards, and combat, so this is a pretty decent segue into previewing my stretch goal legendary denizen, Taurom the Crimson Angel. An android bull-headed warship composed of 6 fully autonomous mechs. Each part is emblazoned with a symbol resembling TAUROM, though this codename's meaning has long been forgotten. When the stars of the red spiral dimmed nearly a millennia ago, drained by the fusion cores of an extragalactic fuel extraction vessel, the philosophers and engineers of the dying world conceived this savior. Taurom could not prevent the destruction of its creators, but it could carry on their legacy and defend other planets from this same cold annihilation. Since Taurom's components were scattered throughout the cosmos, scavenged and hidden after many battles, but recently they have been awakened, called by a new singular purpose. Before checking out the stats and talents, Yes, this is a Voltron-esque giant robot made of multiple ships, and yes, Tau-Ram the Crimson Angel is a not-so-subtle nod to the Scarlet Minotaur, infamous monster from the Shadowdark Quick Start Guide dungeon. And again, this is an unpolished draft, not yet tailored fully to Dark Space rules, but probably workable in Shadowdark if you felt like it, because the stats themselves are based loosely on the legendary 10-eyed Oracle. AC 17, HP 90, attack using 2d6 components, far flying movement, and alignment is lawful, so virtuous in Dark Space. Tau-Ram has the legendary talent, but under these rules, rather than magic, it's only damaged by enhanced sources, and spells are irrelevant, and it'll have the ship scale talent to accommodate for its size. The main talent is its components. Listen closely. Each component mech can activate once per round. Each component has 15 HP and can be specifically targeted by an attacker. At 0 HP, a component cannot activate, but for each component at 0 HP, add 1 die to the effect of remaining activated components. As in, yes, attackers can shut down specific parts of the whole, but then power is diverted to the remaining parts, which felt like a very fun way to keep this legendary creature dangerous and dynamic even as it gets weaker in battle. And the components themselves are the horns, which can gore and grab a target, the chest ion cannon similar to a breath weapon, solar sail wings to blind targets while recovering some HP, the plasma axe to destroy mundane material, meteor fist to push targets, and fusion jets for a ranged attack and some free movement. Finally, its legendary monster quote, "I have folded space to fulfill my purpose. Stand aside or learn the meaning of annihilation." So I think that's a pretty badass monster, and if you agree, be sure to back Dark Space on Kickstarter using the link below to help the project reach that stretch goal. But let me know what you think about Tau-Ram and the entire Dark Space Sci-Fi Shadowdark project, and if you'd like to see more of my recent design work for Shadowdark, check out this video on your screen. Thank you for your support, and keep building.